It was like meeting an old friend.
Yeah.
Like catching up with an old friend. Hello guys, welcome to another music review. We hope you had an amazing week, and we're starting off the weekend with some amazing music and some cozy times. We have our coffee here.
Yeah.
And I'm your host Kenio, and with me I have my co-host
Andy.
Yeah, Andy. And he's right now holding the Juice Podcast mugs that you can actually own by yourself.
Yeah.
If you click the link down below. We highly recommend it. They're amazing, they're awesome, and they make everything you drink taste way better.
They do.
They actually do. Anyway.
And a lot of other BS.
Do we have some else BS?
They can
throw in your
also
face?
make your wishes come through.
Yeah.
And if you drink from it in the early morning, you will meet your love of your life.
Yeah.
And I'm very sorry if you're already married, but
and I'm definitely sure all music will sound way better when you're drinking from these.
Especially if you fill it with vodka.
Speaking of music, we're heading down another music review today with Memory Lane. Some people from our past has come back up again with a new song, and we're talking about Simple Plan, of course.
Yeah.
And Simple Plan is coming out today with a new song called Antidote.
Mm-hmm.
And oh my God, are they staying true to who they are? Listening to this track is kind of like this Simple Plan never disappeared.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, just makes a lot of sense that's how they're gonna sound. I actually do think they have changed a little bit, but it's like, I can imagine if back then they were like, oh, that's Simple Plan, how are they gonna sound in 20 years? Like that. Exactly like that.
Like that.
It's like they followed the path that
It's
they
the
exactly needed to, and they modernized their like idea and structure and that whole formula.
Actually, I thought the band had gone like on retirement long ago. Like I had no idea they still
called
played.
them old.
No,
You ageist.
I just didn't know they still played. Because it's been so long since there's come a song from these guys, and
It's been a long time.
And I think the last song I heard from Simple Plan was like Summer Paradise with what's it called? Sean Paul, I think.
That's right.
Yeah.
They made some. That's rather recent in the grand scheme of things.
I think it was on the same album as Jet Lag.
Yeah. Was that like past 2010?
It's like
12?
like summer party songs in a way,
Yeah.
and then again when I'm listening to this track, then what's like Simple Plan has this tendency to create like happy melodies with lyrics that can either spiral into something very depressing but relatable, or they can spiral like into something very happy, like uplifting in many ways.
Yeah. It's interesting with this song. Like I'm not good at sad music. I appreciate it. I think it's very artistic.
Yeah, we kind of stated that with the last music
but I
review.
don't really like it. I just get too like it touches me too much. Actually, it's just too much. I'm so much into it that it basically ruins my whole day. I get sad. But this song is a bit like what you describe. It's not a sad like song. When you listen to the melody, you wouldn't go, that's depressive, that's sad, but you wouldn't go, oh, that's such a happy, lucky, oh, everything's just a happy song. It's kind of like in between. It's a good poppy banger, but it's not like the lyrics could go either way. And in this case, it kind of also goes either way. It's not a sad song, but it's not like an overly positive song either.
It feels like the verses are kind of sad. Yeah. But then it like springs out into this uplifting chorus that tells about this person in your life being your antidote against all that is bad in your life, all that's sadness and all that's loneliness, and having this person just makes everything way better. It could be a loved one. It can be a best friend. It can be your parent. It could be a brother. It could be your own freaking mirror.
But it's a very good song, and just in general, it's a good banger. Like when I say them in the positive things, it's not like Miley Cyrus's "Party in the USA" or Pharrell Williams.
I actually listened to that track a few weeks ago. It's amazing track.
I love a "Party in the USA."
Yeah, it's an amazing track.
That's a cool.
Well done,
I wish
Miley.
you would make some more of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, what happened?
Yeah, but like it's not that kind of happy where you just instantly go, oh, that's just like, yeah, I want to dance, but it's somewhere in between that and then being super freaking depressed. It's somewhere in between.
I listened to a lot of Simple Plan in my young days. Of course I did. I was the young scene kid. I was the young like. You could call me the emo kid. Like I was the freaking emo kid. Let's just be honest here.
You were.
Yeah, I had.
You let that was like.
Oh dear God! Should I put a picture of my younger self on screen here?
You should.
To like give an image about how I looked like when I was listening to Simple Plan.
Yeah, you kind of looked like Tokyo Hotel-ish kind of stuff.
Oh dear
that
God!
Was kind of like when it was real bad. It was in that direction with the eyeliner and the emo hair.
Oh yeah. Oh dear God! What happened?
Amazing.
There was a different kind of time.
It was.
Something changed, and I grew up, and I still listen to Simple Plan. But that's kind of the thing about when they released this new song. I was spiraling out into happiness in another way. This was like it was like meeting an old friend.
Yeah,
like catching up with an old friend. I had put Simple Plan on the shelf for a long time. Because there were so many other artists coming out and so much other music, and I think that's why I thought that Simple Plan has stopped playing. So when they came out with Antidote, I was like, wow, I want to check out all their old stuff, like going down memory lane. And that's when I actually started to realize that Antidote is really keeping almost in a Green Day kind of vibe, holding on to who they are as a band. They didn't change that much, but
no, it's still the
developing.
same formula. There's still the same punk rocky, young kids kind of rock that they still play.
You can actually hear this is Simple Plan. You're not
absolutely.
You're not in doubt. If you know Simple Plan, you're like, this is Simple Plan.
This is Simple Plan. I will say that they did jump on the whole more processed, the more. How should I explain it? Like a lot of rock music these days are more processed. They are more clean. They are more like heavily edited.
Yeah.
In the way that all of a sudden we have so much technology now that we can make distortion sound like so smooth, and they basically went more over to that more modern, more processed, more thoroughly worked through kind of. You can hear some of this aren't real amplifiers.
You can also hear it on a lot of rock tracks these days when a drummer has played. I'm sorry, guys, I'm bumping this microphone so much. When you're recording the drums, you can actually hear that the drums has been sampled again, like onto its original recording to make them sound way more oof.
Yeah, you can absolutely hear this is a modern track.
Yeah,
it's
but
been
Simple
made
Plan
in the
doesn't
modern
do
way.
that. They really stay true to the original recording way. It doesn't sound sampled at all.
No, I think they still went into the studio and played their shit like back in the day.
But
back
still,
in the day. What I mean is you can still hear that it's a more modern take on it, because you can hear that all their guitars, all their distortion and stuff like that, it has been cleaned up very, very nicely.
Yeah.
It has definitely been edited to the slightest detail. Also his voice and how that thing it has been undergoing some more heavily editing and some more processing, some more cleaner, nicer, better sounding stuff, and that's not a bad thing. But you can just hear that this is way more modern. It has been done way more, digital than it would have been back like in the early 2000s. I think you can absolutely hear that this is a modern rock song.
Yeah,
they have used the modern techniques that we have available today, and that's fine. It's
actually surprising to hear Pierre's voice hasn't really changed.
You don't. No, you could still hear it was him. Yeah, I agree. Like I'm still remembering that all the small things from Simple Plan. I was them, right?
No.
Wait.
It's not. Simple. You're talking about a whole lot of artists. Like you're talking about Sum 41, aren't you? Like
no,
Simple
not Sum
Plan
41.
Came out with "Welcome to My Life."
Yeah.
Do you
But they also did that thing. All the small things just care.
No.
Wasn't that them?
No.
You sure?
Yes.
Wasn't that Simple Plan?
It was not Simple Plan.
I'm gonna look it up. Oh, goddamn. Like for real. For real. Am I completely confused right now? All the small things. That's these guys.
That's Blink-182.
Fuck, you're right.
All the small things. That's
Blink-182. That's
Yeah.
of course Blink-182. I confused them.
Simple Plan and
I'm
Blink-182.
so sorry, guys. Of course, that's not Simple Plan. Jesus Christ. I remember now. Of course. Yeah, of course.
He's getting
I'm
old.
back on track.
Wow.
Yeah, I am getting old. I'm confusing my artists here. Because they were around at the same time, basically. So that's why I got it all confused. Of course, that's Blink-182.
Yeah, Blink-182 is...
yeah, of course.
There are like... All the small things is a parody of all the popular pop songs there was back then.
Absolutely. Of course, Blink-182.
Yeah, they kind of just bullied all the pop
singers.
singers.
Please, guys, I know who Simple Plan is. I know their songs from back then, but I had completely just confused my artists here. It's, of course...
Yeah, but,
Jesus Christ.
But that's why I'm saying that Simple Plan really just is... They didn't really change the formula much.
No.
And they stayed true to their old ways of recording their song, and I was very impressed with Pierre's voice not being that different.
No, he has a nice voice.
Like, it's actually one of the things that I also kind of find weird, because "Welcome to My Life," that track is years ago, and he still sounds the same. Yeah,
I mean, a lot of artists, of course, get more. Of course, your voice change with age, and the more you use it, you do kind of like have some wear and tear on your voice, but you can't really hear it here. I mean, if we put them up next to each other, I bet we could hear some differences, but I would actually argue that he sounds even better.
Yeah,
I mean,
it sounds way more developed and mature, but
yeah, I think
he
basically more trained.
Yeah, but he definitely has this identity in his voice. There's really you know it's Pierre from Simple Plan singing this when you're listening to it. It's really identifiable. I love that. Yeah. So jumping into the stars on this track. Let's see if I can pull out the board here.
Yeah,
I have to turn it around.
I really think you should be the one to put in a lot of. Well, you know what? I can hold it like this. You should be the one to put in a lot of these stars, because you are 100% more... Well, yeah, biased too, but as we just evidently showed here, I can't really remember all of these different albums. I will talk from it like I love the song. It's an amazing song. I do think with the structure, I'm kind of like always... Like picking a bit on the bands for using too much of the same structure, the same formula. I want something new.
This is definitely the same type of formula that has always been there.
This is different, because imagine if they changed the formula. Yeah, imagine if they strayed away from being Simple Plan. It would be horrible.
Yeah.
So
that's why I'm comparing kind of their comeback. I hope this is a comeback. I would love Simple Plan to come to Denmark one day, and actually never seen them live. It's one of the bands I have never seen live, and I really want to see them live.
I don't think they've ever been to Denmark. For a lot of time in the 90s and the start 2000s, a lot of bands never ever came to Denmark because we was just such a small country.
And now we're one of the best countries to play live in, because we actually care about artists coming here, and they can walk freely in the streets because we don't attack them here.
Yeah. There's actually some truth to that.
Yeah,
but that's another story. I think you should be the one to decide this one, because I think you are way more into this kind of genre. I will say, with the structure wise, I wouldn't mind giving them 5, because they stayed true to who they are through that many years, and I think that's very important that they do it.
But I will actually go down and give them a 4-star. Mainly because they're staying true to who they are as a band and what kind of formula they're using. But then again, you've been away for such a long time.
Mm-hmm.
You come out with a new track. It's an amazing track. Don't get me wrong here. But it's the same. it's the same. It's like, hello.
It is just as any of their
like imagining you have a high school reunion and your crush shows up and she looks the same. She hasn't developed. She's still 18 years old.
I'm struggling to see where the problem is here.
Yeah, like,
what the hell are you talking about? If I'm gonna look young for my whole life, that's gonna be amazing.
Let's give another example. The high school jock looks the same. He shows up in his baseball.
Even worse, he's still alive.
He's still alive. He shows up in his
dead.
baseball uniform and his cap on, and he still has the same attitude.
Oh yeah,
like. That's my problem.
That is bad.
Yeah,
that's
agree. My problem. So
he's complaining that women looks like, oh, they're just keeping so well. You idiot.
Maybe it was a bad example.
You're just jealous. You're just jealous. You want to look like you were 18 again. Not feel like it, but
really,
look like it.
like we just stated in an image how I looked like when I was in that age, and I don't think that's no. So 4 stars.
I agree. And you are right. I think it is like if it does become too predictable, I think some people would react to this like, oh my god, it's just the same. It's just such a banger from Simple Plan, amazing. And other people like, well, all right. I mean, it's been so many years. Couldn't you have come up with something more creative? So, I guess it's different how it will hit different fans. I think.
Yeah. Especially as like an old school fan of Simple Plan, like I am. Of course, I love the track. Like it was,
of course,
it was natural for me to love it because it's where I came from. It's like like I said earlier, it's like meeting up with an old friend.
Yeah.
But then again, seeing this old friend and nothing in his life has changed.
Yeah.
He still has the same job. He's still living in the same place. He hasn't gotten married yet. He's like. No offense to the people who's still there, but like
you would have liked the track to mature just a little bit.
Like you want to have something to talk about.
I can absolutely I can see what you. But this is also just such a good evidence to why a lot of bands when they are like this, be it famous, very famous or less famous, it's very hard for a band to do anything right because. If you change too much, people go like, oh, I don't even know them anymore. I don't want to listen to them anymore. I like the old stuff better, blah, 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 blah. But then they make something like that's just exactly like the old stuff. And then people go, oh, it's just all the same. Why should I even listen to it? I want something new. So it's kind of like a good evidence. It's very hard for a band to reinvent itself because you will evidently probably piss off some fans in one way or the other.
It will happen.
So I think the advice is, as an artist, stay true to yourself. If you just like to make the same stuff that you always did, just keep doing it. Somebody's gonna love it. Somebody's gonna hate it.
So when we're moving on to the lyrics here, the one thing that I really love about Simple Plan and their lyric wise is that they don't use metaphors. They are pretty much saying it as it is.
Well, but antidote, that is a metaphor in itself. I'm an antidote. That is a metaphor. But I can see what you mean. It's very obvious what they're trying to like.
Yeah, what they're like trying to say here, but
they're trying to say
like
very clearly.
For
inspirational.
One of the things that I really love about one of their tracks, back in the day, was a song called "This Song Saved My Life."
Yeah.
The history behind that song was that they had taken comments that their fans have left on all their stuff on their social media, on their YouTube, told them at their shows and whatever, and they made a song out of it. And that's the most like literal thing I could like ever imagine. They're not like we talked about Blind Channel on the last week's episode, and they're using Christian metaphors and whatever to tell about how bad the world is and how selfish people are and whatever, and that you're like absorbing your own selfishness and you're turning into one of those people, right? Simple Plan doesn't do that. They're like saying my life is shit, and we're gonna sing a happy song about it.
It's pretty cool. It's very upfront, and that's nice.
It's very upfront, and it's one of those bands I related to right away.
Yeah.
Even though I'm a big Linkin Park fan, even though I've been listening to that band for like all my life, they use metaphors heavily, and
it's more. It can be like the idea of the song can be very hidden around what they like. I don't know
what we're trying to say
like
here.
numb, like okay, I guess numb. Like you can be numb in different ways, but when they sing the song, it's actually kind of hard to like. It's more up to interpretation. With a lot of Linkin Park songs.
Like, you really need to create your own little story in your head when you listen to their songs. But Simple Plan just say
they
the
guide
things
you
that
through.
it is.
They help you understand.
Especially if you listen to a song Jet Lag, it's about pure traveling around the world, and when he wakes up, she goes to bed because she's living on the other side of the planet, and they're missing each other. And that's and they're wondering how they are. And
I think that's why a lot of young kids maybe relate to them a bit easier, because like when you are a teenager, a young kid, you might not exactly have the depth or the capacity as a I don't know, a grown up have to maybe understand a lot of things or pay attention at least. And I think that's why Simple Plan might cater more to young people, because it's more simple. It's more
simple.
direct.
It's simple and direct,
tell about love and story and life, and
it's
in
the
a way they
plan.
can understand and relate. It doesn't really require
Simple
a lot to
Plan
listen.
is the artist who creates song that you send to a loved one.
Yeah.
It's just they create songs that you send to one another. Like they kind of conquered that idea of sending a poetry to someone, sending a love song to someone, sending like a telegram almost.
They were around like when the internet started to get popular, so they were one of those stuff.
I think
we all talked about
a few girls a Simple Plan song or two.
A few girls, you say?
Back in the day?
Yeah. Well, anyways, I do want to say about the lyric stuff, I wouldn't give them more than 3, just... Well...
They're not lyrical genius.
No, it's this,
they're not.
Like, even though how much we can like talk about how amazing it is, and it's just so simple to understand, it's maybe with my ears also too simple. It's not that creative. It's like, but to be honest, it's a banger. Like the lyrics, the chorus, you get it in your head, like the Antidote part. But it's been done a lot, perhaps, and could they have been a little more creative in how they would make a new song and the newer lyrics? Perhaps. I would probably go around a 3, I think.
I would actually agree.
Yeah, I don't think it's a 2. It's a happy middle. A little above middle. It's a good song, it's a good text, it has a sing-along quality over it. So yeah, I think it's just because that kind of like songs have become a little bit too cringy to me. Like there was just so much of it back in the day, so I think that's why.
Like
that kind of like lyrics. It just reminds me of being a teenager, I think.
Yeah,
I think that's
they are really conquering the teenage era, but they definitely hit hard on the 2000 kids teenage era.
They did.
They definitely conquered those guys, like me, myself in particular.
I think these are definitely a band that has some very loyal fans, and a lot of us who grew up with them are going to relate a lot to them and want to listen to them. I don't think a lot of young modern people might pick up on this, but I think most people have heard about them, but I don't know if they're gonna conquer like the stages they did back then.
I actually agree. If they want to hit the younger generation of today, even though we talked about when we listened to Olivia Rodrigo that it seems like their genre is coming back
a little bit. Yes.
So maybe that's why they're actually coming back out with new tracks. Like they're waiting for their genre to return, and when they finally return, they're like, now is the time to hit that record button.
Absolutely.
Now
a lot of these like
we had
fusions
this song
with the rock are coming back.
We had this song in the bag 10 years ago, and now we're releasing it.
Yeah, maybe
this has been just sitting here. I don't know how long it's been in the studio. I have no clue.
You told me that you sent some girls songs from Simple Plan back in the day, so I think you should decide about the sexiness.
Sexiness
you
is
are the right one to decide.
For me, a hard 5. it's a hard fight because they are really the ones who create a. They set the mood, and they set the lyric right, and they set the poetry just right for you to send this to a loved one.
They were the soundtrack to a lot of the dating and wild parties back in the day. So
yes,
of course,
and they probably will be even again. If you pick up on Simple Plan, you listen to the old stuff, you will hear what I'm actually like talking about here. You would actually do the same thing if you're smart. So 5 stars, man. And that's it. That's the final verdict. There we go. I have no idea how much you guys can see of this. But if you paid attention to the whole episode, you will know.
Imagine if you turned it the wrong way. Anyways, guys, I think that was it for today.
Yes.
I hope you enjoyed and push the subscribe button.
Yeah, remember to
like
push
that.
subscribe. Yeah, and the like button. Do you have any memories with Simple Plan, or are you considering getting some with Simple Plan? Leave them down in the comments down below. And remember, as always, have an amazing weekend. We love you, and we can't wait to see you on Monday for another podcast. Stay juicy.